This is the homework solution for page 236, numbers 19, 20, 37, 38, and 39. Number 19 asks us to write an equation in standard form. What we have here is the point slope form because we have a point here and the slope. So my first step is always to rewrite the original equation. Second thing is I want to distribute. 2 times x is 2x, 2 times negative 8 is negative 16, right? If you follow your graphic organizer, the second step after the point slope is the distributive step. After distributive step, I have to get it into the slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. To do that, I have to do the inverse property, which is adding 10 to both sides. I can simplify. The left hand side I have a y, on the right hand side I have a 2x minus 6. It is now in y slope intercept form. Okay, to get it into standard form I have to have the variables x and y on the same side. So I have to do the inverse property of subtracting 2x to both sides. Once I do that, I should have y minus 2x equals to negative 6, and this is in standard form. How I know it is in standard form? It is because both the variables y and x are on the same side of the equation, which is right here. The next problem, number 20. Y minus 6 equals to negative 3 parentheses x plus 2. That is my original equation. Same thing as before, I have it in point slope form. After I have it into point slope form, I have to distribute. So I do that. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Okay, I have to add 6 to both sides because I want it in slope intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Okay, it should look like y equals to negative 3x because on the right hand side negative 6 plus 6 is 0. That's why I could even write the plus 0 here if it makes you happy. Okay, now I want to go from y equals mx plus b into standard form, so I have to add 3 to both sides. Okay, what is left on my right hand side is a 0. That's why there's a 0 here. On my left hand, what is left on my right hand side is the 0, and what is left on my left hand side is y plus 3x. And this is in standard form because both the variables x and y are on the same side, which is the left hand side in our case. Good. Next, number 37, it says write an equation for the line described in the standard form. Okay, number 37, we are given 2 points. So if you follow your graphic organizer, 2 points. After that, they say find the slope. So to find the slope, I have right here, find the slope, I have to start by labeling the points. Once I labeled the points, here I could even write that for you, label info, okay, which are the 2 points. This is my first point. So x1 equals negative 1, y1 equals to 7. My second point, x2 equals to 8, y2 equals negative 2. I write the original equation, which is the sloped equation. M equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 subtract x1. Make the substitution. Y2 was negative 2, so negative 2 here. Okay, y1 was 7, 7 here. X2 is 8, 8 here, and x1 is negative 1, negative 1 here. That's what I do after I substitute, right? Now let's simplify. Negative 2 minus 7 is negative 9, okay? Because, again, subtraction is the same thing as adding a negative, okay? And 2 minuses, like a minus of a minus, is the same thing as saying an addition, okay? Does that make sense? Okay. I can even repeat it for you. Okay. Whoops. So, a subtraction is the same thing as adding a negative. So this, negative 2 plus negative 7 is still equal to negative 9. On the bottom, subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding. Okay. Okay. 8 plus 1 is 9. Negative 9 over 9 simplifies equals to m equals to negative 1. Next, after you find that, you ask yourself, do I have slope do you have the y-intercept? No, so I have to go to the point slope form. Okay, here's the point slope form. Make the substitution. Negative 1 here was the slope. X1 right here was negative 1. Negative 1. Um, X2, no, sorry, Y1 is 7, so here's 7. Okay, I make that substitution here. I could put that in the parentheses if that makes you happier, okay? Now I distribute, okay? Negative 1 times, I simplify. The minus a negative here becomes a addition, so the minus the negative becomes an addition, okay? Does that make sense? Because, right, the opposite of the opposite is just, right, they cancel out. Okay, so that's how you got that addition. So now what we do is distribute. Negative 1 times x is negative 1x. Negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1. That's the distributive step. After I distribute, add 7 to both sides because I want it in y equals mx plus b format, which is slope-intercept. This is now in slope-intercept. To get it into standard form, I do the inverse by adding 1x to both sides, and now it becomes the standard form of y plus 1x equals to 6. Okay. Next, number 38, it says through the point negative 4 comma 3 with y-intercept of 0. Right? So y-intercept of 0, okay, of 0 means 0, 0. Right? Because remember the y-intercept is always in this format, 0 comma it's something, a value, right? Where in this something it's 0. Okay, that is how I got 0, 0. Okay, you can graph it if you would like to see. Okay, next, so I find the slope. So again, I label my points. X1 equals to negative 4, Y1 equals to 3, X2 equals to 0. Okay, here, and Y2 becomes 0 as well. Okay, write the equation of a slope. Do the substitution. Y2, what does Y2 become? Y2 becomes 0. Oh, this should be 0. Okay. Y1 becomes 3. X2 becomes... Wait, hold on. Y2 is 0. Y1 is 3. X2 becomes 0. Okay. X1 becomes negative 4. So this should be negative 4. Okay. So something's off here. Alright. Okay. So 0 minus 3 is negative 3. Minus a negative 4 is the same thing as adding a 4. So it should look something like that. Let me just double check the points, okay? Y2, 0. Y1, 3. Right? Minus 3, 0. For X2, minus negative 4. Good. Alright. So the slope here should have been negative 3, 4. I can make that green. Okay. Next, after we find the slope, we can use point slope form. Substitute. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I want to check the points here. Slope intercept 0, 0. Alright. Okay. That looks good. Hold on. Alright. That looks good. Okay. The slope should have been 3 comma 4. So let's just put that here. 3 comma 4. Okay. Minus a negative 4, right? Let me simplify that. A minus negative 4 is the same thing as adding 4. The slope should still be negative 3 over 4, right? Then I want to distribute, so this should have been 3 here, and this one should have been positive 3, okay? Because negative 3 times, here I can even show it to you, okay? 4 over 1 becomes, wait, hold on. You're right. Hold on, this was positive, so this should still be a negative. Negative 3, right? Okay, this equals to let me show you. Negative 12 over 4, okay, which is simplified into 3 over 1. Okay. You see how I got the negative 3 here? Good. Next, I want to add 3 to both sides. Add 3 to both sides. Okay. You should look something like this. Okay. Add 3 to both sides. This becomes a 0. Okay. Next, this is really bad here. Let me show you. Okay. Here, let me just bring this down here. Next, what you should do. Okay. Next, what you should do is, right, I should add, okay, because this is a minus. I want to add, okay, 3x to both sides. So add 3x to both sides. Okay. So add to both sides. After I do that, it should look like something like this. Why? Oops. Oh. Y plus 3x equals to 0. Okay? This is what it looks like after you simplify. Okay? So, this is how it looks like after you simplify. Next, do you see how there's this 4 here? To get rid of the divide by 4, right, you would have to multiply 4 to everything. So, let me multiply 4 to everything. Okay? Alright. So, let me multiply 4 to everything here. Good? Okay. And I also have to multiply 4 here. Right? You're wondering, wait, Mr. S, why do I multiply 4 to everything? Multiply 4 to everything, right? To both sides, right? To both sides, okay? The reason I do that is because now it simplifies into, this should not even be black. These should all be black, okay? The reason why is because now you should get 4y plus 3x equals to 0. 0 times 4, 0 times 4 is basically 0, okay? This is the standard form now, okay? Okay? If you notice, it's very, very easy, right? Because, right, once you have these points, okay, you should already know how it should look like here, okay? Right? What some students decided to do is just to graph this, and they could automatically get the equation, okay? Next, I do this the long way, okay? So, okay. Alright, same thing here. With an intercept of 4 and a y-intercept of 5, so 4 comma 0. This is my x-intercept, and my y-intercept is 0 comma 5. Alright? Finding the slope, as before, I label my points. Find the slope, my originals. Right? That's my equation. That is my slope. 5 minus 0. 5 minus 0. 0 minus 4 becomes m equals to 5 divided by negative 4. Put it into point slope form. Here's my equation. Make that substitution. I simplify. Right? How I simplified is I don't write the minus 0. Okay? I distribute everything in. If you're wondering how I get this 5, let me show you the math here. Again, here, let me show you. Here, this times 4 over 1. This is actually a minus, right? Equals to, oh, this is equal to negative 20 divided by negative 4, which is simplified into 5 over 1. Haha, do you see? Positive, negative over negative is a positive. That is how I got that, right? Right now, I just decided to multiply 4 to each side, right? It should look something like this, okay? Right? 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 5 over negative 4 is, right? It cancels out. Should be negative 5 here. Add 5 to both sides. My answer is 4y plus 5x equals to z. 4y plus 5 4y plus 5x equals to 20. This is how standard form looks like, okay? There you go. I'm going to show you a trick, okay? Watch this. I'm just going to take this whole thing out, and I'm just going to go right here, okay? Remember how the formula of standard form, okay? Standard form always looks like this. Standard form looks like y, okay? Um, sorry. ax plus by. Let me just put this in equation format for you. Okay. Equation. ax plus by equals to 0. Okay. Notice anything. A is equal to 4, which is the x. Oh, hold on. Which is, sorry. Here, let me rewrite this really quick for you. Just rearrange it so the x goes in there, okay? Right? Do you see how the 5 here, okay, went in here? Okay. A is equal to 5, which is the y in intercept, okay? B, which is equal to 4, which is the x-intercept, okay? That's another way you can cheat. If you memorize this, you can generate this. But again, it's up to you if you want to memorize it. Yes, you could skip all those steps, or if you don't want to memorize it, right? You want to understand it, just work through the graphic organizer, right? Show all the steps, right? So ignoring all of this, just get it back to how it was before, which was, okay, which was this, right? Finding the slope, right? Doing point slope form, getting into standard form. Some students just graph this, which is perfectly fine, right? I could even pull out a graph if you would like, okay? Hold on, let me, yeah, I could bring up paint. Let me get a image of a graph, okay? Graph, grid. Alright, so coordinate grid. Let me get some image here for you. Alright, there you go. There you go. Alright, here, let's graph this. With x-intercept of with an x-intercept of 4. So let me get my dot here. Let me make that red. Here. Let me fill that with what? 0, 4. So 4, 0. Right there. What's the next one? 0, 5. 1, 2, 0, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's the other point. Okay. Now you could look at this. Okay. What is my y-intercept? What is my slope here? I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and across 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? That's how you got the slope. Right? Okay? Well, for this, it would look something like that. Right? Okay? Go down 4. Do you see? Go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And across 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? That's how you got that slope. Do you see that? Then you can just automatically put it into y equals mx plus b format, okay, from here, and you can just get it to standard form, right? However you want to do it, right, to get the answer in standard form is up to you, okay? There you go. That is all the homework solution for page 236, numbers 19, 20, 37, 38, and 39.